Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Ralph Altiere, Dean of the University of Colorado Skaggs School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone to the 2015 Skaggs School of Pharmacy Awards and Scholarship Convocation. We're here this evening to celebrate the achievements of our students, faculty, and preceptors over this past academic year. We're fortunate to have many truly outstanding students in our school, some outstanding in academics, others in professional service or community service, and still others in ways that we learn about years from now. We thank each and every one of them for being such an important part of our family here at the school. Tonight, we take this occasion to recognize an exceptional group of students from among the many great ones that we have. I extend my personal congratulations to each of you on your accomplishments and your invaluable contributions to our school, to our communities, and to the pharmacy profession. It is not only our students whom we recognize this evening. We have family and friends among us who have been so supportive of our students over the years. We extend our heartfelt thanks and congratulations to you as well. So let's congratulate our supporters. I also want to recognize our faculty and staff who do the daily work of keeping our school operating at such a high level and who provide a great educational experience for our students. We gratefully acknowledge you for the dedication and commitment you bring to our school and to our students. So thank you very much to our faculty and staff. And last but certainly not least, I want to recognize our Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Dr. Kathy Jarvis, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight due to an illness, Director Beverly Brunson, and the staff of our Office of Student Services, who do such great work with our students throughout the year and who organized and orchestrated this evening's program. So thanks to all of you in Student Services. Well, we have award recipients to recognize and, best of all, money to give away tonight, which makes this one of the best days that a dean can have. So we'll get started. It's now my pleasure to introduce our class presidents who will present teaching awards from each of their classes. I would ask all three of them to join me on stage at this time. P1 Class President Dorrance on Pham, P2 Class President Anna Zhou, and P3 Class President and Student Council President Kelsey Schwander.
Good evening. My name is Dorrance Pham, and I am the P1 class president, acting in the last representation for the P1 class. I'm just extremely honored to be here today to present the Teacher of the Year award that we selected to Dr. Robert Scheinman. Two of my favorite phrases that Dr. Scheinman used to say to us was, here's the question for you, and you might want to remember that. And these two phrases are very distinctive because it represent exactly his teaching style and his personality. He's very transparent with his students, and he utilizes questions to always engage our interest, and at the same time, those questions work to exercise our intellectual creativity. We're very fortunate to have Dr. Scheinman be our professor during the P1 year, where we're still learning to mold and structure our learning strategies and processes. His conversational teaching style, it really helps to translate complex materials into relevant language for us to enhance our understanding. And this really motivated us to become more meticulous students/leaders. And at the same time, while he's doing all these good things and engaging our interests, he's also throwing in a few life lessons, many good stories, many jokes to keep the lectures entertaining. and this is what our class really appreciates about him. So Dr. Scheinman, we want to thank you so much for guiding us through one of the hardest or most gruesome courses that we have this year, which was mechanism disease, which we all tattooed on our bodies and we'll never forget, and for fighting for us to always do better in our education, and also being one of the greatest first stepping stone for us here in our path at this university. So we want to thank you so much for your efforts, and congratulate you again, because you received this twice now, but congratulate you again on another well-done year. Thank you.
Good evening, faculty, students, and family. So my name is Anna Zhou, and this is Josh Sanchez, and we'll be presenting the Teacher of the Year Award on behalf of the P2 class. So I want to start out by saying there were a lot of qualified candidates this year, and the votes were very close. So when you're learning from a lot of the top educators of the country, it's going to be hard to choose just one. The professor we chose this year embodies the many traits that we hope to have when we begin our careers as pharmacists. This individual shows dedication not only to their students, but is also at the forefront of the field of pharmacy. After having learned from this professor over the course of a semester, we now have a new appreciation for guidelines and evidence-based medicine, particularly in the field of lipids and blood pressure management.
So it's no surprise that the P2 Class Teacher of the Year was also voted the ACCP Educator of the Year amongst his peers. So congratulations to Dr. Joseph Sassine for winning the P2 Class Teacher of the Year award. And on a side note, we did another vote, and it was a close race, and Dr. Sassine ended up beating Dr. Miller for Best Beard of the Year as well. And unfortunately, Dr. Sassine couldn't be here today, so accepting the award on his behalf is the wonderful Dr. Lena Burr.
As mentioned, Dr. Sassine could not be here today, and that's because he's on official school business in Istanbul, Turkey. So he wanted me to tell the P2 class, and thank you very much for this award, and he loves you all, and is giving you a ginormous hug from the Middle East. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelsey and I'm the P3 class president. So, the one rule of Fight Club, Capstone, the final class of our curriculum, is that you never speak of Capstone. However, I have to make one exception about one exceptional professor. The professor our class picked this year was awarded because of two reasons. One, because of his intellect, and the other, because of his goofiness. We believe his one goal for every lecture was to add in at least one ridiculously cheesy joke to see how many students he could make laugh. We often would not laugh because his joke was funny, but it was so nerdy you couldn't help but laugh. Not many professors have this as one of their goals, and that's why we appreciate him. During our capstone course, our cases are very serious, until this professor started to write the cases. The cases were very formal and very difficult. However, he always added in something funny. One case, he even quoted himself, and it stated, "Trust me, I am not smart, but I have been tricking people for years." Well, he sure has tricked our class. Not only do we love this professor for his ability to laugh with us, and often at times at himself, but we admire him for his brilliance. Through our infectious disease courses, acute care elective, and our capstone course, it is without a doubt this man is an expert in his field, and we are honored to have him teach us these difficult topics. Despite if he's being an intellect or a joker, this professor is dedicated to our success and is truly sincere. Even when I emailed him to inquire if he was coming to the ceremony tonight and not explaining why, he stated, "It is nice to see students be positively rewarded and the proud smiles once they get on stage. I enjoy these happy events." It is rare to have a professor who balances laughter and learning so well in the classroom, and that's why the class of 2016 chose Dr. Miller as a Professor of the Year.
I don't know whether I should say thanks for all of that, but thanks, this is great. That made the year for me. Thank you.
All right, I hope it's okay. I want to go ahead and say a couple things about our foundation real quick. We started this scholarship last year. It's in honor of our son who passed away in 2012 from a prescription drug interaction. We learned a lot about this just doing some research on prescription drugs, and we were moved to action when we found out that somebody a year ago it was every 19 minutes somebody dies from a prescription drug overdose or misuse. We thought, well, what can we do to spread awareness and raise education amongst the general public? Obviously, a lot of people in this room know a lot about this topic, but normal people like me and my wife, we had no idea about this epidemic that is killing somebody now every 12 minutes in the United States. Last year, we were able to present a scholarship at this school of pharmacy, and we were so proud of the recipient and the work she did. And just to let you know, we're a very humble group. We're a nonprofit, so literally this scholarship comes with a lot of hard work and sacrifice and dedication from our board. So really quick, I'd like to recognize the JP Foundation board. If you could just step forward, is Christina Cyril, she's our secretary. Karen Hill's our vice president and JP's mom. Carol Kendall's our executive director. And Tricia Litz is our educational program director, and she's also assistant professor at Regis University. And we have many other board members not here. I wish I could recognize in person Professor Valek, one of them, for his support. And I'd like to also thank Dean Altiere and the CU School, Skaggs School of Pharmacy, for having us and supporting our program. I'd also like to recognize last year's recipient, Jeremy Boom, if she could please come up. And I got to tell you, Jeremy Boom has been amazing. She's not just a recipient of a scholarship for us. She became part of our family. One of the requirements of this scholarship is that we want you to give 20 hours of work to our foundation, and Jeremy did this in probably the first week. She has got edge, energy, personality, attitude, and it's everything. We couldn't have picked a better person to be part of our foundation, and we're so impressed that we voted her in on our board. So she's permanent. She's stuck with us for good now. Jeremy is very instrumental in working with some educators on creating an 8-week curriculum that got taught out at 16 different schools across the Front Range this past fall. An amazing accomplishment for a humble band of warriors like us, but we have very few resources, and we feel like we're going to take our foundation to the next level this year. We're seeking more funding, and we have a lot of more things on the horizon, so we're very excited. And we recognize that we need the people in this room, we need this community to help us further our cause. So having said that, we'd like to announce our scholarship this year is going to, before I say who it's going to, I got to tell you, all the applicants were amazing. And the hardest part of this whole thing was picking one. Incredible amount of work they put into the application process, so very impressed with all the applicants. But Marina Maes, please come and accept this.
I would like to say a few words about our next presenter before I ask him to join me on stage to announce the name of the final scholarship recipient of the evening. Whenever we lose a loved one, and particularly if that person was a member of our immediate family, we look for ways to commemorate that person's life. We may seek out a means to perpetuate the values and aspirations that characterized this person during his or her lifetime, or we may elect to make a charitable contribution in honor of our loved one's memory. When Mr. Gene McMahon's daughter, Teresa, passed away in 1993, he decided to do both, to perpetuate the ideals and dreams that Teresa had exhibited and her family had cherished during her life, and at the same time perform a truly generous act of charity. Teresa McMahan-Shulkin was a 1976 graduate of the University of Colorado School of Pharmacy. Mr. McMahon has endowed a full tuition scholarship in our school in celebration of Teresa's life and in honor of her memory, the Teresa McMahan-Shulkin Memorial Scholarship. We are enormously grateful to Mr. McMahon for honoring both his daughter and our school with such a generous gift of caring and charity. This year marks the 22nd consecutive year in which this scholarship has been awarded. Mr. McMahon's true generosity is amply demonstrated by the fact that he began his scholarship when tuition was only about $4,000 a year. I don't have to tell you what it is today. Gene, thank you so much for your deep commitment to our students. And before asking him to join me on stage, I would like to add that Mr. McMahon will be celebrating his 89th birthday on Wednesday, May 6th. Happy birthday, Gene, and best wishes for many years to come. So, Gene, please join me on stage to make the scholarship presentation. Thank you. Use the microphone.
Okay. Good evening. I'd like to make a short speech about why I'm here in front of you and to acknowledge the receipt to the recipient for the evening. And my memory is not all that great anymore, so I'm going to read you what I have put together. And I'd like to say this scholarship honors the memory of my daughter, Teresa, who graduated from the University of Colorado School of Pharmacy in 1976. Shortly after graduation, she married a fellow graduate, Randy Shulkin. The grandfather, my father, was a pharmacist who obtained his pharmaceutical license in 1922 after a period as an apprentice and a short period in college to prepare for the required Colorado State examination. None of Mom and Dad's 5 boys followed their father into the pharmacy profession, but we were very proud that Teresa did. Teresa contracted the disease lupus just prior to the premature birth of her daughter, Erin, in December of 1979. She would succumb to the ravages of the disease in July of 1993. Erin thrived after birth and obtained a degree in business administration from Southern Methodist University in 2002. She worked a few years for Shell Oil Company, the company I retired from, and she married Michael Burson and birthed my first great-granddaughter in June of 2008. And she birthed my second great-granddaughter in June of 2010. They live in Sugar Land, Texas, and I live in Golden, Colorado. So we only get together 1 or 2 times a year. After Teresa's passing, I wanted to set up a memorial to her which would recognize her commitment to her profession and to her compassion for friends and family. What better than a scholarship to the School of Pharmacy? So with help of friends and family, the Teresa McMahan-Shulkin Scholarship was established in 1994. This is the 22nd year the scholarship is to be awarded. At this time, I would like to present the scholarship and a commemorative medallion to this year's recipient of the Teresa McMahan-Shulkin Scholarship, Sierra Hill.